Remember Toy Story? Remember how it made you feel like everything around you had a soul and feelings of its own? Well, welcome to the anime where the main character never grew out of that crap. But first, have a look at this creep stalking one of the city's trash chutes. This is where the rich constantly toss out stuff that's been perfectly usable. Now, despite the trash not actually always being trash, the folks in this city are more germophobic and loopy than your weird Aunt Sally, who vacuums her house thrice a day. Enter Rudo Sherbreck, the main character I mentioned earlier, who gets mad on the trash's behalf. Right now, he's sneaking his way into a garage disposal facility to liberate said trash. Yeah, it's weird, don't question it. Unfortunately for Robin Hood Light here, one of the guards in the facility spots him and calls for backup, while Rudo's rooting through the trash. Turns out Rudo's actually got a reputation in the city as a degenerate who keeps stealing trash, which is a problem because reasons, I guess. These people just really don't like their trash going anywhere but the incinerator, which we can see in just a few minutes. In Rudo's escape strategy, dude straight up tosses some trash bags at the guards, and they're so traumatized by it that they collapse to the floor. These dudes would not survive in Louisiana. Despite the other guards' attempts to block him in and catch him, Rudo the trash raider manages to get out of the situation with nothing more than a graze on his arm from one of their bullets. Now, you know how the city's people are massive germaphobe elitists? Well, they're not the only people around. The nice side of the city's just where they live, but there's a whole other side of the coin in the tribesfolk, the people who live on the other side of their city's boundary wall. The difference is so massive that calling it night and day doesn't even do it justice. These slums on the other side of the wall are where Rudo the trash raider lives. Right now, he's sitting at his usual spot in one of the wider streets, peddling the trash that he stole and repaired. Enter Chiwa, the girl he's got a massive crush on, and just so happens to be the only person around with any empathy. The girl's in the middle of fondly scolding him for putting herself in danger when a group of boys pull up to the spot as well. NPC 1, 2, and 3 are here to crap all over Rudo's patience and bully him over a bunch of stuff. For one, his obsession with trash. For another, the ratty gloves he's always got on. And the even grosser stuff he's apparently hiding inside them. And finally, the fact that Rudo's dad was a serial killer who went on a murder spree in the city. Something that pisses off everyone in the slums because from what they've been told, they're descendants of criminals who were exiled to this place and have to prove they're better than their ancestors. So a serial killing maniac in their ranks ain't exactly the best look. Unlike everything else they've said, this actually gets a reaction out of Rudo and fully terrifies the lead bully. Seconds away from pissing himself, the bully just says some more mean stuff and runs off. After they're gone, Chiwa sees her friend looking down and offers him some words of encouragement about how she knows he's better than them already. While Rudo's blushing his butt off over that, Chiwa spots the toy bunny Rudo just stole and gets excited over how cute it is. Shy as he is with her, though, Rudo fails to tell her he got it for her before Chiwa's mom comes over to take her home for the day. Later that evening, Rudo returns home to his adoptive father, Regg, who proceeds to tease the crap out of him for fumbling the bag back there. As Rudo puts away the stuff he got today, the two have a talk about how Regg wishes the kid would take his own health and safety more importantly. But for Rudo, this is about pulling his weight and contributing to the family that this man gave him. Despite having no obligation to, Regg took and abandoned Rudo in as an infant and raised him as his own. After some more teasing about Chiwa, Regg spots Rudo's grazed arm and forces him to sit down so he can patch it up. As he does that, revealing the blackened and damaged flesh of the boy's arms, Regg talks about the legal system in the world, which definitely isn't just exposition for the audience. These slums they live in, they're a massive pit at the edge, and all major crimes are punished with a one-way ticket down the thing. That's actually what happened to Rudo's old man, and what many wish would happen to him too. All the more reason Regg wants him to avoid getting in trouble. As he listens to Reg's concern for him and pulls on his gloves, Rudo remembers how the older guy gave them to him way back when, not just as a gift, but as a lifeline. Both to hide the rotten arms his father left him with, to avoid humiliation and to dampen the pain they randomly light up with. Frankly, he doesn't feel like he can ever pay Regg back for everything. Seeing his thoughtful expression, Regg decides to lighten the mood by teasing the boy about Chiwa again. Unknown to either of them, that creep from the trash chute in the city is listening in on them from outside. Why? Well, he's a creep. Who knows? The next day, Rudo goes to his usual spot to wait for Chiwa, hoping to gift her the bunny today. After realizing she might not be coming, he sets out to find her himself. In the process, he reaches the top of a cliff from where he catches the latest pit execution. Yeah, turns out the pit is way more than just that. It's a damn void that borders the entire slums. It's as Rudo's watching the Chiwa suddenly sneaks up on him with a smile. Seeing the execution, the two talk about how terrible the pit is and how cruel people in this world can be. That's why Chiwa doesn't want him to end up in there, unknowingly mirroring Recto's words from last night. When Rudo mentions that, Chiwa says it's only natural for the people who love him to feel that way. Cue puberty hormones, driven embarrassment, and awkwardness for them both thanks to that comment. Overwhelmed, Rudo rushes through, telling Chiwa that the bunny he got is actually for her and hands it over. After Chiwa promises to treasure the thing forever, Rudo's brain finally short-circuits. Eager to get back to Recto and tell him things went well, Rudo rushes home. The scene he enters onto, however, is straight out of a nightmare. That creep from before is standing over Recto's body, a blade driven through his dad's chest. After trying to fight the creep off, Rudo gets knocked clean out, and the killer flees. When Rudo finally wakes up, he rushes to Recto's side, desperate to save him, but Recto already knows it's too late. And he also knows how bad this looks for Rudo. Worried for his adopted son, even in his last moments, Recto begs him to run from here, to escape, to live, and to change this trash heap of a world they live in. Unfortunately, Rudo's in too much shock and trauma to act on those pleas. Moments later, he's captured by guards from the city who refuse to listen to anything he says and pin Recto's murder on him. Despite his attempts to be heard, the guards couldn't care less. They just knock him out and his fate is decided. Before the blood on Rudo's jacket has even dried, the authorities have taken him to the execution stand at the pit. There, as his supposed crimes are read out and everyone from the slums cheers for his punishment, Rudo feels his sanity slipping. Is there no one here who believes he's innocent? That's when he spots Chiwa, remembering how she promised to always believe in him. Convinced that she'll stand by those words, he yells out to her that he's innocent and she has to find the real killer. But instead, Chiwa drops the bunny he gifted her, glares at him with hatred, and tells him she was wrong about him after all. He's nothing more than a killer's son. As his last tie to humanity snaps, as the people of the slums call for his death, something in Rudo breaks. Even as he spots the killer in the crowd, and he's dropped into the pit, Rudo's mind is consumed by one thought. He's going to kill them all. They're all going to hell. After passing out from the fall into the pit and the overwhelming rage he was filled with, Rudo wakes up in a strange place. Worse than even the slums by far, this place he's in is the perfect representation of absolute and utter garbage. As far as the eye can see, there's nothing but trash, and yet, as if he hasn't already been through enough, something massive starts to rise behind Rudo. From the mountains of trash all around them rises a monster that would terrify even the bravest man. Right now in this terrifying hellscape, Rudo must survive.